Hello students, Sai Aadhan Classes, Maths, Physics and Chemistry. UAE WhatsApp number is +971 56749628 and India's WhatsApp number is 9966088208. Grade 10 CBSE Chemistry. Chapter number 1, Chemical Reaction and Equations. We have uploaded Mathematics and Physics chapters in our channel, in our YouTube channel. Now we are uploading, we are working on chemistry, and we will be uploading at the earliest. So in today's session, my dear students, the chapter number 1, chemical reaction. So the transformation of chemical substances into another chemical substances is known as chemical reaction. For example, rusting of iron, the setting of milk into curd, evening time at night, when you get up in the morning, that milk turns into curd. You eat food and sleep. Morning again you feel hungry. So digestion of food, respiration. So what are all these? These are all the examples of chemical reaction, that one chemical substance is transforming into another chemical substance due to chemical reaction. In a chemical reactions, always remember students, a new substance is formed. In a chemical reaction, always remember a new substance is formed which is completely different from the properties of the original one. Last night it was milk, but morning when you got up it was completely changed into curd. So curd is different, milk is different. So in a chemical reaction, a chemical change takes place. That is, the rearrangement of the atoms will take place in chemical reaction. Rearrangement of atoms takes place in a chemical reaction. In chemical reaction, you have the substances which take part in a chemical reaction are called reactants, and new substances produced as a result of a chemical reaction are called products. The substances which take part in a chemical reaction are called reactants, and the new substances which are formed as a result, they are called as products. Chemical reactions and equations. Chemical reactions and equations. Here you see the example of chemical reaction. Burning of magnesium in air to form magnesium oxide. Magnesium you are burning in the presence of air, it changes into magnesium oxide, that is white ash you are going to get. Is the example of chemical reaction. Being a science student, we need to write the science language, not in English. So 2 mg, S is a solid plus oxygen is a gas, gives rise to 2 mgo. Before burning in air, the magnesium ribbon is cleaned by rubbing with a sandpaper. This is done to remove the protective layer of basic magnesium carbonate from the surface of magnesium ribbon. Why you are rubbing it with sandpaper? Because to remove the protective layer which is present on the magnesium carbonate from the surface of the magnesium ribbon. So 2 mg plus O2 plus CO2, carbon dioxide gas, then you will be getting MgCO3, which is a solid. The substances which take part, now here magnesium and oxygen are taking part, carbon dioxide is also taking part in the chemical reaction. So we call them as reactants. 2 mgCO3. MgCO3 is a new product formed which is called a substance formed which is called a product. So before the arrow you have reactants, after the arrow you have products. Check here in detail. When magnesium solid is reacting with oxygen, it gives rise to magnesium oxide. Coefficient is 2, which is written before on the lower part subscript. The arrow is known as your reaction arrow, and in the bracket SGS is written, that is a physical state. Before the reaction arrow, the substances which are present, they are called reactants. After the reaction arrow, the substances which are present, they are called products. Reactants are consumed in a chemical reaction to make products. Reactants are consumed in a chemical reaction to make products. Now chemical reaction and equations. We have balanced and unbalanced chemical equations, and we will be discussing about balancing of chemical equations. This part example we have discussed just now. And dear students, notes link has been will be added in my physics notes link has been added in the description box. Please check. In chemistry also, for each and every part we are providing the notes as well. So after watching the channel, you can refer to the notes and you can prepare well for your self and for the board exam, students. And any doubts, you can WhatsApp or you can comment in the chat box. If possible, please subscribe and like. So what are the characteristics of chemical reaction? Gas evolution, precipitation, formation, color or state will change, temperature will shift, and light emission. Whenever the chemical reaction takes place, so what happens? Evolution of gas, production of gas bubbles. When zinc and H2SO4, zinc and H2SO4 are reacting with each other, then what will happen, students? Then you are going to get hydrogen gas. Then you are going to get hydrogen gas, students. So evolution of gas. How do you know the gas bubbles will be released in this reaction? Formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate here. An insoluble solid separates from a solution. Whenever mixing AgNO3 and NaCl, which forms solid AgCl. The insoluble components you can find at the bottom of the a beaker. We call it as a precipitate. So change in color, a new compound is formed. CuCO3, after heating from green, it turns into black. So it describes there has been a chemical reaction taken place. Change in temperature, the temperature may increase or decrease. Exothermic reactions will release heat while endothermic reactions will absorb heat. Exothermic reactions will release heat and endothermic reactions will absorb heat. Change in state, it shifts to form new products from solid to liquid or gas. Here is a detailed picture explanation. Change in state, you can see a solid changes into a liquid. Change in color, the blue color solution changes to green color. Evolution of a gas, the bubbles of hydrogen gas is released. Change in temperature, the temperature, cold water to hot water when you are heating it. Change in order, formation of precipitate, and change in energy. These are the things when that is the characteristics of a chemical reaction. Notes is provided in the description box, students. You can refer. For any queries, anything, you can WhatsApp or you can give the information in the chat box. This is your, what do you call, this is your part A. We'll meet soon with the part B, students. Thank you very much. Good day. Bye bye.